I'm Jack Berry. I'm president of the Richmond Region Tourism. It's an organization that promotes tourism, conventions, sport events into Central Virginia. I consider myself a cheerleader for the 7 jurisdictions that we represent on bringing people to come to visit our destination, spend money, and then leave and go home. The road to Richmond, I love it because in alliteration, it's actually our mission. The mission of Richmond Region Tourism is to have all the roads lead to Richmond for the visitors to come, spend the day, spend the week, bring your convention, bring your sporting event. And so it's actually just a wonderful tagline for us that we're going to capitalize on. But for the advice is that the number one reason people travel is visit family and friends. Through the pandemic, it was the first thing to come out is probably you and I visited family and friends the first trip that we took. We encourage everybody listening, invite your family and friends, come down for the holidays, come down for special events, come here, but then experience how wonderful and great a destination we have. I think our destination is heads and shoulders above every destination in the United States. I think we're on everybody's top list. We're the place to go. And so to describe it is, it speaks for itself. And that's our advertising campaign, that it speaks for itself. It's hard to describe it, but if you come here, 59% of those that come will return in the same year. 94% of the visitors will eventually return. We are a huge repeat destination. The biggest transformation, and it occurred probably in 2011, and our destination was okay, but what transformed the destination was Alex Nargis at the Museum of Fine Arts had just completed a $150 million expansion. And at the time, Picasso's museum in Paris had to find 7 sites in the world to have the Picasso exhibit travel to because they're going to refit the Paris Museum. And a friend of his in San Francisco said, "Hey, Alex, I heard you have a museum." And when Picasso came to North America, he went to Seattle, San Francisco, and to Richmond. And that was the point of when the Washingtonians discovered that we were not a drive-by destination on the I-95. And from then on, the other transformation, besides all of a sudden Washington discovering us, was our locals. And before, our citizens were not proud of the destination. But Tom Silvestri at the Richmond Times-Dispatch put on feel-good stories. He transformed the psyche of the citizen to invite family and friends to come and visit. And all of a sudden, when we would used to have conventions and people coming in, they say, "Oh, I would never go here. Why would you come here?" Today, the transformation is that everybody's inviting family, friends, and conventions to come here. They've become our cheerleaders, and that's the huge transformation for the area. 10 years ago, we had somewhat of an inferiority complex. And back then, the business leaders and the civic-minded people said, well, why can't we be like Charlotte? Why can't we be like Atlanta? And we would do these inner-city visits to different destinations. And when we'd go to Birmingham, we'd go to Milwaukee, we'd go to Baltimore, we went to Atlanta, we'd come back and say, you know what? We have it better than all they do. It's the quality of life that we have. So I love the quality of life we have today, but what's happening is people are discovering, hey, I don't want to be in the Northeast. I don't want to be in the South. And we are the perfect destination for raising a family, starting a business, and what's going to happen is you'll see tremendous growth in the next 10 years. So we started a program back in 2019, Black RVA, to promote Black entrepreneurship. And it's taken off tremendously, and we have a lot of money to support that. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. And so everybody needed the assistance. Now we're coming out of the pandemic stronger than we were before the pandemic. And so incorporating with our Black RVA program will be a tremendous asset to the small entrepreneurs. We're very, very proud of that program. But again, with all these people moving here, with all the visitors coming here, we're very, very bullish on the success for the next 10 years. I mean, with all the jurisdictions, all of them have an economic development office. And I dare say they're more than willing and able to offer advice. But the problem is that people just don't know where to access that capability. So for anybody who's listening, wherever you want to settle down in any of the jurisdictions, go to the economic development department and tell them what you're looking for. And I dare say there are probably grants, there's assistance, and again, it just makes our destination great. Partnering with the universities, we have 5 major universities within the metro area. They have a wonderful repository of artists, and tapping into that resource. Also, of course, we have the Art Zone down along Broad Street, and just cooperating with all of the other opportunities for the artists. I think we have a very, very good opportunity to enhance that art scene. I've lived all over the country. I'm from Chicago. I've lived in LA, commuted to New York City, lived in Maryland. And it's those who have not, who've not left Richmond cannot experience how wonderful we have it. And for the reset button, I would be very hesitant to hit a reset button because I think our trajectory is just superb. We're in Central Virginia. Regional cooperation is at its peak. We are doing extremely well with the 7 jurisdictions that we incorporate in Richmond Region Tourism, but Central Virginia really gets it. And no knock to Tidewater, no knock to Northern Virginia, but they're still not cooperating like we are. The climate is fabulous here. The affordability is here. I think you've mentioned it in the interview before. We're 15 minutes from everything. If you go to Northern Virginia or Tidewater, I dare say where can you get in 15 minutes, let alone just crossing the street. So where we're going to be is, I think, the universities are going to flourish. They keep investing into all the different universities. And I think the youth are going to really drive the destination. But today, we're on every top 10 list of quality of life. We just are internationally known. And I think that just will continue on because, again, once you come and visit, you'll come back.